Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. It's a spiritual phenomenon, the gift of prophecy. Now, many understand it and use it, while some struggle to even believe it's real. My guest this morning has written a book about it. It's called A Practical Guide to the Insights of Prophesying. Prophet Jermaine Johnson here with me this morning, and his wife, Roberta Johnson, joining us. Good morning to both of you, and welcome.
Good morning.
I'm delighted to have you. You called me and you said that your husband had written a book and you wanted to share a little bit with our viewers on Delmarva to talk about it. Talk to us about prophecy and that gift and how you developed it and realized that you had it.
Well, first, with prophecy is mainly this, just to put it plain and simple, is speaking on God's behalf what He would have you to say in the earth, whether it's present, past, or future things. Okay. It started with me when I was in my early 20s. I had got saved at maybe 22, and I was praying at home. And all of a sudden, as I would pray, and words came out of my mouth that wasn't articulated myself, and I was trying to understand this. And through teaching and understanding of a ministry that I served under for 12 years, Pilgrim's Ministry Deliverance, I learned that this was the gift of prophecy. Okay. And I thought that it was just a one-time event.
No, huh?
But the Lord began to use me on multiple occasions in the church also to prophesy.
Now, at the time, you two were married. Sister Roberta, what were your thoughts? Had you also been walking in this gift at that time, or did you at the same time kind of come into it?
Well, around the same time I started speaking in tongues, and then, God would give me, as far as the interpretation, I would start hearing words, as somebody might have been speaking in tongues, and I start hearing the words in English. So that's how I began, to develop what God was putting inside of us. So
now, for those who are at home and maybe I kind of believe I grew up hearing some of this, or I just don't understand it. What does it even mean? I mean, what do you say to them in terms? I mean, there are some naysayers and unbelievers. What do you say to them?
What I would say to them is that the Word of God specifically tells us the things that the Lord has given to the church. And He has given these gifts to the church, one of them being prophecy, tongues, and interpretation of tongues, which sometimes can be called equal to prophecy. And the reason why I wrote this book is because a lot of people are afraid of the prophetic, because there's been a lot of things that have happened, sometimes through ill will of those that have the gift, sometimes through lack of understanding. And the Bible tells us that we perish because of the lack of knowledge. And I believe that, this is why the Lord has inspired me to write this book, so people can gain an understanding and get wisdom and, have clarity in this area when it comes to prophesying.
And so tell me a little bit about a practical guide into the insight of prophesying. Is it a how-to? I mean, do you help develop that in others, or do you kind of lay out how it's been developed? And you tell me a little bit about the book.
Well, I do help develop others. I actually have people in my ministry that are training in the prophetic. I can't make anybody do anything.
Right.
And I always tell our people, if the Lord does not tell you to say anything, then you have nothing to say. Okay. So the book is about training people to know that God does use people in that area, that gifting. It's also to warn them about the false, because if you have real, you also have fake. Right. I always say, one thing I say in the book, you never seen a phony $3 bill. And the reason why, because you never seen a real one. Right. So that's what we do in the book. We do that, we train, we tell people there's a difference between prophesying and actually someone in the office of a prophet. And we talk about that a little bit, because when you're in the office of something, the office, when you look it up in the Western Dictionary, means someone that has authority and has a position and has a place of authority. And you have to be called by God to be in that particular place in ministry. So we explain the difference of just prophesying and somebody that has the office of a prophet gift. Okay. And we also talk about prophetic teams. One thing that we have in our church, we have a team of prophets where we prophesy as a group, and we learn order And we learn also to judge prophecy because it's not infallible. People can make mistakes. People can err. God is perfect, but people are imperfect.
Now, how's it been for you, Roberta, being, I mean, it takes a lot of support, a huge support system, I imagine, for this ministry, and then also to have some gifts of your own. Has it been easy, difficult? How has it been over the years for you to be in the ministry yourself?
I mean, I like being in the ministry. I love people. I love working with people. And I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I know that God has called us, and I have his support 100%. And I just thank God that, you know, whatever he, you know, come to me with, I mean, you know, I let him know that I'm there. Whatever, you know, God say, if he said it, we're going to do what God has called us to do. So I'm just there to do whatever God has called us to do.
That's some faith right there, huh?
Yes.
Now, where can we get this? Where can we get the book? Where is it available?
Can be purchased from me. Of course, I have copies on me at all time because I travel to different churches a lot. Also, you can get it on www.prophetickingdomministries.com. That's my website. Okay. And you can also get it at www.amazon.com in the Kindle version, or you can get the hard copy.
Oh, you ready for them in the technology too?
Yes.
These days? You have to be. Now, I even see some pages for note taking. Is it the kind of thing where it's encouraged that you kind of write down what the process is as you're going through this book, what you're experiencing?
Yes, because sometimes you know how we read through something, we may forget, but a lot of times when you write it down in your own language, you pretty much go back and you can say, oh, that was it right there. So we left that space in there for that. And also at the end of the book, there's a journal, because we don't believe in just training you, but also activation. We want you to actually walk in what God has called you to walk in.
All right, and so you all are presently at Prophetic Kingdom Ministries, and that prophetickingdomministries.com. You can go there for the book, Amazon, and of course, if you always have some as well, you should. And we just thank you for sharing with us this morning. Like I said, it's a topic that a lot of people don't know. Some people just don't know what to do with. And so to have you kind of break it down for us in a life-applicable form has been excellent. So thank you both for sharing.
Thank you for having
us. All right, you stay with us. We have more Good Things Delmarva after the break. We'll be right back.